Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 61 with Asheville Real Estate News. I'm Rodrigo, your host, and today, really excited about the topic we're talking about, even though I'm not 100% sure what the whole topic is. I know enough to be dangerous in theory. I've got a guest here who's going to kind of walk through some of these intricacies, and we're going to explore this topic together. Hopefully get a lot of questions that I'm personally curious about answered, and hopefully if you're out there thinking about getting into the space or exploring this arena a little bit, this will give you a good head start on the questions you should ask if you're looking to hire somebody to help you with, we're going to call it estate liquidation, and we'll find out at the end of the episode if that's the accurate term for this. So in the meantime, I am joined by Tanya Fletcher with Sterling Auctions, who founded the company, and they do a whole variety of things, but I'm not going to butcher it anymore, so we're going to let her explain it. Hey Tanya.
Hi there, how are you?
Thanks for joining. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome. So this episode's been like a long time coming. I don't know if you remember. I think it's been about a year where we've been like, hey, we should do this. We should sit down and talk.
Super busy. Yeah, maybe next week. Yeah.
Yeah, well, It seems like, anybody who's in the real estate world can appreciate it. It's like running around. There's always some sort of fire you got to put out, and then you get a little bit of breathing room. It's like, it's a good time to take a break, travel a little bit, etc. Welcome to the show. Glad that it finally came to fruition.
Thank you.
Before we even get into, let's clarify. Estate auctions, is that the best way to call it?
It is. I would say it's estate liquidation. We help people with downsizing, move management is another way we say it. I will say it's not Sterling Auctions. It's actually Sterling Transitions.
Oh my goodness, you're totally right.
So that's probably the most important thing to cover first.
Well, there you go.
But that's okay.
That's how little I know about it. I can't even get it correct. That's right. Sterling Transitions. I should know it. I see all your items on Facebook. I think that's why.
That's okay. It's all right.
I apologize.
No
before you did what you're doing here, I always like to kind of get into a little bit of the backdrop. Is Asheville home for you?
I have lived here on and off 3 times. Came here, left, came here, and came back. And so I've actually been here now for about 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
I stopped counting.
Oh.
So it's been a while.
It's roughly about the same. I got here in 2009.
So I'm somewhere
little
around
after
I
that,
kind of stopped counting. I don't remember because I kind of went back and forth so many times.
Well,
but yeah.
When I first got here, somebody once told me, was like, you can't say you're from Asheville until you've lived here for 10 years. And I was like, okay, 10 years. I'm going to keep that in mind. I don't know if that's accurate, but I always found it was like an interesting metric.
Well, it's hard for me to say I'm from anywhere because I've moved so many times in my life, which is part of why I do what I do. So this is kind of where I've lived the longest, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, where's growing up happen? Or did you move a lot growing up too?
I was born in Puerto Rico. I don't know if you know that.
I don't think I was.
We both speak
Spanish.
Could.
Well,
yes, we could do that.
Might lose a little bit. We could. That good. Okay.
Yeah. So I was born in Puerto Rico. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And then when I was in high school, my parents moved to Miami, Florida, which is where they still live.
So you did move a lot growing up.
I did. Yeah. So right in the middle of high school, we moved, and then I moved after high school, I moved for college, went to the West Coast, went back to East, West, all over. So there was a point where I moved 12 times in 12 years, which is ridiculous.
So you do have a lot of hands-on experience.
I know how to move, yeah.
No doubt. Okay. Well, how'd you end up in Nashville the first time? Nashville's sticky enough, obviously. You kept coming back, so.
Totally random. A friend of a friend was driving up here from college. It was my brother's girlfriend's roommate, and she was driving up here, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after I graduated, and so I jumped in the car with her and said, if I get a job, she already had a job, she was an engineer, so she had a real job, and I was like, if I can find a job when I get there, I'll stay. And I got a job at the Grove Park, the front desk. I had a management degree from the University of Florida, and I got a job, so I stayed, and we became roommates, and I stayed for a while, and then didn't make enough money, left, one of those things. But it was fun. All the people I met when I lived here, I'm still friends with.
Really?
So that's pretty cool.
And they're still here?
Which one of them is my business partner now.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Interesting. Well, perfect segue. So how did you go from working at the front desk at the Grove Park X amount of years ago on your first, foray into Asheville to what you do now, and what was that story like?
So I had a business degree, so my frustration when I graduated was I could kind of do anything with a business management degree. So I kind of started focusing more on marketing than anything. And then when I moved around so many times, I just kind of felt like I was always working for entrepreneurs, and I just learned how to do businesses. So I started my own business when I lived in Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
I did a magazine while I was there, and it was a franchise, and I did really well. So when I left, I sold that, and then I moved back here. And as you probably know, once you work for yourself, it's really hard to work for someone else. Yep. So I came back here and I worked for someone else, and it was difficult. So just the time, more the be there at 9, leave at 5, I couldn't do it. So, and I'm a single mom now too, so the times were hard. So I decided to do something else again. And I looked into franchises, since that one was successful for me. And I had done some healthcare marketing. I had done a lot of moving in my life. And I decided publishing I needed to move away from. So I got a license to, a training with a company that gave me a license to do senior moving.
Okay. Oh, so you have to have a license for that.
Well, it was a license with her company.
Okay.
And I got the training, and it was called Smooth Transitions. And I decided not to take the full marketing package they gave, because I had a marketing background. I just did the training. So when I got here, she's like, you'll find your niche, you'll figure out what makes sense for you. So I started doing it, and I started with just helping people move. And then as I helped people move, I realized that once they moved, they had all this stuff that they didn't want, and I was having trouble finding good, reputable people to send them to. So I decided to start taking that on as well with estate sales and things. And the people that do what I do in town, they were very helpful and gave me lots of advice. And they're all a little bit older, have been in the business for a long time, and just kind of took me under the wing and taught me what they know. So I got overwhelmed with a lot of business really fast, and my business partner joined me after about a year and a half, and we started doing auctions as well. So she has an auctioneer license.
Very cool.
So we do that too.
So how long ago was the, open the doors, get started?
I guess I think it was like 2000, maybe 2012.
Okay, so you're about, give or take, 6 years in?
Yeah, sorry, I don't really remember.
No, I'm 2012 too, actually, is when I first
maybe 2013.
kind of
I don't know,
got into
5 or 6 years, somewhere around there,
Time flies though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I saw, it's one of those, you just, suddenly you've been doing it for a while, so
just keep going.
Yeah.
So the moving thing, I think, is really interesting to me, because there doesn't seem like there's a good way to move ever, at least in my personal experience. Right. Every time I move, it's like, I hate it. My typical thing is like, well, I haven't seen this piece of clothing or this item in, 6 months. Okay, I'm giving it away. And then it doesn't matter what happens. Anytime I move again, there's still another pile that seems like just as big or bigger than the last time. Right. How did you get into helping people move, or what does that even look like, I guess?
I think, so what our business model now is, our favorite client is someone that calls us with plenty of time. They have a move on the horizon. They don't really know where to start. They're just overwhelmed and they're walking in circles. So we can start with helping them actually just make decisions about what they're going to take, because typically someone will pick something up, they know they don't want it, but they don't know what to do with it. And they get overwhelmed, and they think, well, should I donate it? Should I sell it? And then they start trying to figure out how much it's worth, and then they don't know what to do, so they put it back in their closet. So they don't do anything. Right. So what we do is we help them figure out just what they want to take with them, and then we help deal with the rest of it, make all the other decisions for them. So if they can figure out what they want to take and they take it with them, then we can come in the back and then we make sure it fits, and they're not taking 5,000 purses or shoes or whatever. We help them.
Have you seen 5,000 shoes in a house?
I've seen a lot, not 5,000, but I've seen a lot of stuff. Yes, and people, it's funny when you start pulling stuff out of closets, they don't realize even how much they own. But so we help them just make those decisions, and then just from where it fits. And some people are they're having some health problems, so we're the ones running around bringing the boxes up and down and actually packing the stuff and getting it ready for the movers. And then once they've moved, and we can unpack for them, sometimes we'll do that, then we will take a look at what's left, and we decide. We always try to sell first, and then we'll donate what we can't sell, and then we throw away what we can't donate. So, yes.
That's a good transition to work through. What have you found to be, I don't know, like the thing you've enjoyed the most about, working with people in that transition stage?
I think it's when we first meet them, when we first meet them and they're really overwhelmed and stressed out, and then they hear everything that we can do, and then you can visibly see their stress go, like this is great. You're going to help me. You know the answers. I mean,
Right.
people think that their problems are all like very specific, but a lot of people deal with the exact same thing. So we have some specific things we can say and help gear them to like make good decisions. And I think just seeing that visible transition
Relief.
on them, just on a consultation, we can do that. And that's the best part for sure. So sometimes we work with lawyers and we don't get to meet the people. We learn about them through their stuff versus them. And I like to work with the people. That's much more fun.
What are the common threads that you mentioned, right? Like, everybody's like, and I agree with you. Like on our end, people are like, oh, well, we're in this situation. I'm like, hey, like, sometimes it's a relief for people to hear. It's like, this isn't that unique,
Yeah.
What do you,
I think when people are downsized, well, I guess common things is they're thinking way too much about all the stuff that they have, and instead of just deciding if they want it or not, they're thinking, does it have value? What do I do? How do I sell it? How much is it worth? And so we kind of
first decision is, do you want it or not?
Do you want it? If you don't want it, put it here. If you want it, take it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you need to worry about. So we really focus people on that, and that helps the overwhelming part. But then, when people call us after they've done that and they have their pile of stuff, the most common thing we have is everybody thinks their stuff is
worth
unique.
A lot.
And it's like, well, so there's this age group that's downsizing, right?
Yeah.
As baby boomers are downsizing. And everybody's moving into something that doesn't have a dining room. So they're getting rid of their dining room table and their hutch and their china and their crystal and their silver plated items or whatever. So all of that, everyone has. And then they're also getting rid of their second bedrooms because they're moving from 4 to 2 or whatever. Bedroom sets.
Right.
Dime a dozen. TV cabinets, people put TVs on the wall and they don't have cabinets, they don't have DVDs, they don't have, so all that stuff, everybody's getting rid of the same thing, so it makes it really a hard conversation to have with people sometimes, and that's a common thread. Yeah, we do, and we do that right off the bat, because if people have kind of unrealistic expectations, then it's not good to work together.
Yeah, you're just gonna.
We're just gonna disappoint them, and we don't want to disappoint them.
I'm like, hey, look, I either have to have a rough conversation with you now, or it's gonna be later. It's might as well be up front.
Yeah.
You kind of rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. So that's probably the common thread, that most people have the exact same stuff, and they're really sad to hear that it's not worth anything. And
yeah. So how do you all manage that? I mean, because part of your value, I'm sure, is finding value, right? Like that's what you guys say. Hey, we're good at deciphering what's worth something and what's not worth something. Right. And if a lot of the people are getting rid of the same things, then where is the value, or how, like?
Well, I guess the marketing background that I have is getting, people like you and me and a lot of people that moved to Asheville, like, a dining room table that's not going to be sold for what it was purchased for. Right. We're looking for deals, and so there are buyers for those, but they're not going to sell for what they bought them for. And that's I guess where you're trying to, we can sell the china, we can sell the crystals. It's going to be selling for a lot less. So on the buyer side, it's great for marketing. Hey, you can get a set of china for $50 versus what they paid thousands of dollars back then. So
thousands of dollars for sets of china?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So
I know nothing.
Now you can see why people were like, they're so sad to hear that it's not, and they've held on to it, and they haven't used it because it was so valuable, and now it's
because they don't want to ruin it, break it, whatever.
It's a supply and demand thing. If you have 500 sets of china out there, yours doesn't matter how nice it is. It's still one of many. 500, yeah. So, so for those buying, it's a great deal. So I guess that's how we deal with it. Is yes, there's a lot of stuff, but there's some good deals to be had. So we pretty much sell everything.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I know we're gonna have an auction specific conversation, but how much of your stuff is online versus like in person?
Well, my business partner, her name is Betty Baker. She got her auctioneer license a couple of years ago, and we started dabbling in online auctions. We do not do live auctions, which there's a big difference, and you can ask her about
person?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
In person. So ours are all online.
Okay.
But there's online auctions and estate sales. Those are what we do to sell people's items. We also do buyouts where we sell everything at once, or we do just sell to people that call us, hey, if you have a dining room table. So estate sales are when you go into a home and every single thing has a price. So it's like a store. Right. So we have to price everything in the house. We do a lot of research. We make sure everything's priced accordingly. And then an online auction is where everything starts at $10 and it just sells for what it sells for. So that's something that it goes on for 5 days online. People can bid. Whoever gets the highest bid gets it.
So this is going to be important. Where do you sign up for this?
So right now we have one going on.
Okay.
I know this isn't live, but
no. But I'm sure whenever it gets released,
yeah. So sterlingtransitions.com is our website.
Not Sterling Auctions.
It's sterlingtransitions.com.
Okay.
Not transactions, not
transitions.
Whatever. Yeah, everybody comes up with something. And
we'll include the link, by the way, so yeah, it'll
awesome.
be okay.
On there, there's we always have our current auctions, and you just click on it, and it takes you to our auction platform, which is on a different auction site. Right now, we use estatesales.org. There's a lot of different ones out there, but that's the one we use. So it'll take you there, and then you just register with your name and phone number and email, and then you can start bidding. You don't have to put your credit card in or anything. You bid, we pay us after the fact, which we're hoping to change that one day, but that's the way it goes. So you just literally will look, once you register, you go and you see something that you like and you click on it. It's $10 and you're the highest bid, you win it if nobody bids against you. Now that being said, it scares some people when they hear everything starts at $10 when you're the one selling.
Right.
But the beauty of it is it really sells for what it's worth, because
the market dictates.
Yes, as long as the marketing is good.
Then
Which
it is.
It is. Then it is going to get, at least if you have two people that want it, it's going to go to what it needs to go to.
Yeah.
And we've sold things for thousands of dollars that started at $10. Yeah. So it's not like it can't get there. So if it's something that's pretty valuable and pretty unique.
Is that car still on there for $10?
That's around 4,000 now. It's got like 8 more days.
So that's
going.
An example, right?
Yeah,
okay,
started,
cool. I was really intrigued.
At $500.
See, if I would have known, I would have been jumping in a little earlier then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll sell for what it's worth, and it's probably worth about $5,000 or $6,000. It's going to sell for about that. So,
okay, that makes sense. It's pretty cool.
It's a little nerve-wracking when you put it on. You're like, oh, I hope somebody sees it.
Have you had? How often do you have things where you just kind of misjudge it? Is that a? Well, I know that's kind of a weird question to answer, but
it happens all the time. It's never the stuff we thought was going to sell for a lot is the stuff that sells for a lot. We'll be like, why is everyone bidding on that?
What is great about this?
Yeah, we start to wonder, what did we put? Did we put something wrong? And we double check our work because we're like, why does everybody want this? And the stuff you think is worth a lot is like $10, whatever. So
it balances itself out a little bit.
What we tell people is, don't look at the specifics, because your heart will break when you see that China went for $10 and you forget that the poster went for $300. You know, it's just stuff that if you look at the final numbers, it's always right. Yeah, and it's always right. It's right on. We can pretty much judge when we walk in a house where it's going to be around.
What, off the top of your head, do you have an example of an item that you're like, there's no way anybody wants that, and just blew it out of the water as far as just getting a lot of activity? And
no, there was a painting once that I think if I had priced it at an estate sale, I probably would have only put a couple $100 on it, and it went to about $2,500. So
really?
That was one that I was like, glad that wasn't an estate sale, because it was a very, very it was not an original, but it was a really, really, really good copy, and there were two people that just went at it, and they just kept going. And then we've had sometimes there's books or things that just go crazy, and you're like, wow, why does everybody want that? And it's usually just two people really.
Right, two bidders that it tugs their heart or whatever, right?
It's an emotional thing. An online auction, you start to bid, and then you're upset when you get outbid, even though you had a number you wanted to stop at. Then suddenly you're like, well, I can put $5 more and $5 more.
$5 more.
And next thing you know, it's gone
huh?
crazy. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no, I bet.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to bid on stuff that you?
No, we're not.
No.
So our staff, what we do is a perk of our staff is that if they see something that they want from the house that. They don't bid on it. We have them buy it beforehand, and we just price it like as an estate sale price. And if you want something, you can't price your own stuff. So,
right.
So we have myself or Betty will price people's things if they want something. So that's the perk for working with us. But we're not allowed to bid on auction stuff.
No, I bet. So how?
I don't really want to be honest.
No.
I see the same stuff all the time.
Oh, I guess 500 pieces of China out there. It's like no more China.
No more China. It's not very exciting anymore after you've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Definitely does. So with what you do, and I mean, obviously, there's a lot of territory that you cover there. Mm-hmm. Have you found that there's like a specific component that you enjoy more than others? I know you mentioned the talking to people, that initial consultation. I'm talking more about like the activity of the business per se. I
think there's probably two things that I like. Mm-hmm. One is the completion of a project. Like we see houses from the start to the finish, and it's usually about a month process, and it's kind of fun to start. You have a lot of excitement, then you get into this, and then it's over, and you walk away. see you later house, and you start with a new one. So and every project's totally different.
Right.
So I think that's the other thing I love is that, like today, we were clearing out a house that was, we had dumpsters out, we had 10 staff there, we're throwing stuff out. Tomorrow we have a pickup for an auction. The next day we're doing online, uploading photos and stuff. So every day is totally different, and once you're sick of one thing, it doesn't matter because you're moving on to something else. So every day is different, which is my personality.
Good.
I can't do the same thing every day. I go crazy.
No, I it's one of the reasons I enjoy what we do as well. It's, we have a fair amount of consistency, I guess, but there's like a good 30-40% that's the same, but that remaining 60% is, changing every day, and it keeps it fresh for sure.
Keeps it exciting.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's so much to talk about. I'm going to go back to the moving thing and just would love to get a little bit more insight like that, especially at Asheville. I feel like people are always moving from one house to the other, or from, in and out from Asheville. What, kind of any tips to people other than like the 2 piles? And maybe you're not like doing a downsize, you're just, doing a lateral transition?
I think if you want to work with someone like our company, the biggest tip I would say is to call really, really early in the process. Because when we have people call and say their house has
my house just sold, I have 30 days.
I have 30 days. Can you come? Well, we have a waiting list, so sorry, no.
Yeah.
So that's tough. I think when people are wanting to sell stuff, when they kind of sell a few really good things and then they call us when there's all the junk left, that's also puts them in a situation where they don't have any options. So calling early and working with just one person is really the best versus trying to sell the best stuff themselves and then leaving the junk. So those are some, if you're working with someone like us, that's big tips.
And what if you're not working like somebody like you?
Because
I'm sure, because you're not for everybody.
So
for somebody who might not fit your avatar, what would tell them?
The biggest tip we work with people is just worry about what you want. Don't worry about the values. Don't worry about all that stuff. We are going to do some stuff some videos and stuff for people to listen to or download for some tips on how best to sell things and how, because I know people want to sell their own stuff. So we're going to have there's a lot of different ways to sell things. I think when you're selling stuff, make sure you're looking at what it's sold for, not what people are listing it for on eBay or what some grandmother told you it was worth. It's really important to know that, because those are other things that we get is people saying, oh, it's worth $5,000. I'm like, well, where'd you get that number? And they don't have, any rhyme.
Just feels good.
My neighbor said it. Oh, okay. Does your neighbor sell stuff?
So
that's something I think, making sure you're realistic with your expectations on selling. I think, really just focusing on what makes you happy, what's important to you. There's a lot of good books out there about getting rid of stuff and purging and simplifying. And then I guess giving yourself plenty of time. When anyone's in a hurry, they make bad decisions. They they end up moving stuff that they didn't really want, and then when they're unpacking is when they get rid of it, and they ended up paying for it to move. Like things like that. It's just really being realistic that it's just a bunch of stuff.
You've mentioned the timing thing, multiple times. What's the appropriate? Well, no, but it makes sense, right? It's obviously the most one of the most important parts of the process. What is the ideal time frame? If I know I'm moving, let's just say August 1st of 2019, right? So give or take a year from now.
Yeah.
When would be the starting point in that process?
For working with somebody or for on your own? Because there's different, I guess, if you're working with someone.
Working with somebody and working on your own. Let's go either way.
I would say about 6 months would be good for working with someone, going ahead and meeting with a couple different companies and getting in their schedule. And everybody works a little different, so they'll give you little tips on how to get to where they're going to work with you. And then really understanding where these companies, because you don't want to make all this progress and then call a company and them say, no, sorry, and then you're stuck. And on your own, sometimes people are worried, they don't know where they're moving to and stuff, and they can't make any decisions. Usually people know they're going from a 2-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, so you know enough to be able to make some good decisions. And I think starting to pack, the hardest part when people are moving is they think they've gotten it all, and at the last minute the moving truck's there and they're still throwing things in boxes, and then it gets stressful. So I think do a little bit every time, a little bit every day, definitely give yourself several months. Some people wait till a week before or a couple weeks before. It's just, you end up...
I'm definitely not guilty of that.
Well, yeah, me neither. I've moved so many times. Yeah, I've done it well. I hire someone to pack for you.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Fair enough. I can see that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully, at some point next couple of months we can have a conversation specifically about auctions and
it's really
maybe
fun.
some tips on we can give people and just where to online auction hunt as well.
Yeah. Great.
Cool. Well, thanks, Tanya, so much for joining us. Appreciate it. And like I said, auctions. Oh, sterlingtransitions.com. Are you guys anywhere else on social media
we
or
have
anything
Facebook,
like that?
Sterling Transitions,
Okay.
and Instagram is Sterling Transitions.
As well.
So and we always put just fun stuff that we find in houses on Instagram,
Okay.
and then on Facebook is just some stuff about the sales. And then we have an email list, which is really important if you're looking for stuff.
Yeah.
We just send out an email whenever an auction goes live, and you can go browse through the photos and see what's there, see if there's anything you need. So that's always good too. And you can sign up on the website.
Online. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. There you have it, y'all. Tune in, sterlingtransitions.com. Almost messed it up again, but sterlingtransitions.com. We'll include the link down below. And just check it out and see if there's something that catches your eye. If not, hopefully some of these tips in regards to moving and just, how to pack and when to start found helpful. Share with a friend. Let us know how we're doing. Give us a rating on iTunes. And until next time, take care, everybody.